All right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We have a outstanding and very special show that we're bringing you guys tonight. We're looking forward to it. We've got two very, very special guests joining us from the Baltimore, Maryland area. I'll introduce them here on the other side. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about black businesses and being conscious. And so we're looking forward to having the conversation with the brothers. We got a lot to get into. We got very, very special appearances later on in the show from some usual suspects here on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, which, in fact, is live right now.
Yeah. It's about that time. It's about that time to get. Yeah.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. I ain't going through the whole thing tonight because we got too much to get through. Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J is live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. So happy and proud to have you guys listening to us here tonight. Thank you to those folks that are listening to our live broadcast on TuneIn. We appreciate you pulling out your smartphone, your iPhone, your tablet, your computer. You've searched Legacy Internet Radio on TuneIn and you've got us. You've got us on Streamer. You went to the www.legacy internet radio website. It's because you guys check in with us every single week is why we continue doing this. Thank you to those folks that are listening to the replays right now in podcast form on YouTube. We appreciate you guys checking us out there. And we got a lot to get into today. As I normally go through the intro, I shortened it tonight because we want to get right to the brothers that we had joining us from Baltimore. WINKLER Investment Group brothers, Marcus Sankova-Nix, who is the chief administrator, and Minister Dennis R. Winkler, who is the founder of the WINKLER Investment Group. You may be asking yourself, what exactly is that? Well, we're going to talk about it right now. Brother Sankova, how you doing today, brother?
Wonderful, wonderful, Brother Marcus. You know, it's always a pleasure to continue to build with our brothers and sisters, but you know, and it's a pleasure to be on the show, and we're delighted, and we're looking forward to continuing to build and work together. So thank you, my brother, for having us on.
Absolutely. And Minister Arsar, how you doing, brother?
Yes, peace and blessings, brother. I hope you can hear me. I'm having a very difficult time hearing you. So I say peace and blessings to your listening audience, and thanks for having us on and providing such a platform for our people.
Absolutely. And I can hear you just fine. And hopefully I can maybe do some tweaks here on my end to make my sound to you a little bit more pleasurable for you. But I want to talk to you guys about the WINKLER Investment Group. And as I set it up, I said the name of it. I purposely didn't get into the whole thing about what it is and what's it about, because it's certainly not my place to do that. Minister, as the founder, I'd like for you to tell us what, in fact, is the WINKLER Investment Group.
Okay, so the WINKLER Investment Group is a very, 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 very powerful investor group in our community. We specifically tailor, or we teach people how to invest in real estate without cash, credit, qualifying loans, or a job. So, I mean, I'll just mention our mission. You know, our mission is very simple, and I'll just share it with you. The mission of WINKLER Investor Group, LLC, is to give supreme service to its students, affiliates, home buyers, and sellers We plan to carry out our mission by conducting all of our dealings diligently, equitably, and with the utmost integrity. We strive to create an environment that is conducive to creating well-informed participants in all of our dealings. And what we mean by this is that we educate our people. You know, we don't turn up with other people. However, this is what our mission is for. Our mission is for Black African people, people of African descent, you know, because it's about economic empowerment in our communities.
Brother Sankova, tell us what you do as the chief administrator and how you work with the minister with the Winkler Investment Group.
Sure. Well, there's a number of different ways that I work with the Winkler Investor Group. You know, I'm a part of the team, and one of the things that I do is I'm involved in the planning aspect of things in terms of you know, workshops, events, trainings, webinars, all the things that we conduct. Also, you know, I'm like the PR guy, the PR man, public relations, you know, making those connections, building those relationships, so that way we can continue to get the message of empowerment out to our people and out to our community. In addition to those things, whether it is speaking and providing some trainings as well, maximizing your productivity, you know, specifically in the areas of organization, time management, one-on-one consultations, and organization sessions, marketing. You know, there's a number of things that I do, serving as a chief administrator, and it's a team. So one thing that's absolutely true for sure is that with everything we do with the Winkler Investor Group, we wear a number of hats and we are a team.
Brother Minister, tell me, what was it that inspired you to found the Winkler Investment Group? I mean, supreme services, I like that phrase. I like it so much that when you said it, I wrote it down. And the points that you made with regards to targeting our people of African descent, of course, struck a chord with me as well. Tell me what your feelings were in the early stages of the founding of the Winkler Investment Group.
Well, just to give a little background of me, I'm getting a lot of reverb, so I'm going to probably take my earplugs out so I can talk, so I can not have to hear myself. So just to give a little background of what the reason why I started Winkler Investment Group is that I've always been in business myself. I've owned several companies by the age of 26 years of age. I've done really well in business, you know, made what some would consider lots of money. And I worked with different companies, one being Winkler Communications. And, you know, the problem is I made a lot of money, but I wasn't necessarily happy. Right. You know, I made a lot of money, but I had contracts with different communications companies such as DirecTV, Mass Tech, you know, so on and so forth. I had upwards of about 50 tech, 10 employees on top of 50 technicians, and basically I was working very hard, making a lot of money, but not having a lot of time to do what I wanted to do. I mean, I could buy what I wanted to buy, but I possibly couldn't even utilize it. You know, also, the business that I was in, you know, a lot of the technicians and a lot of the, you know, it was just a lot of drama. You know, it was a lot of politics, dealing with the companies, so on and so forth. And I wanted to do something, you know, back in 2000. This was back in 2007 when I was about 26 or so. And I really wanted to do something different. I didn't want anyone to have their hand on whether I was going to get paid or not. So, yeah, I'm making $500,000 a year for Winkler Communications, and also had a truck rental business to make, you know, on top of that, make additional funds. And, you know, but the thing is, I feel, especially the main thing that I was making my money from, I still was, I still had a contract. And the person who the people that I had the contracts with, they could tell me any day that they didn't need me anymore. So I didn't like that.
Right.
So I wanted to take my power back. You know, I didn't want to be an overpaid slave. I wanted to be able to, you know, help others. So I got real estate. It was a very hard and difficult road, you know, but it was very lucrative. It helped me out a lot. It was even more than it being lucrative. It was very freeing. It was very freeing. And what I wanted to do was teach people how they can, too, be free. And real estate is that vehicle. You know, the atmosphere changed for me. I didn't have to worry about the headaches as much. And, I mean, everybody was very uplifted. So that's why I started WINKLER Investor Group. And also, just to mention that real estate is, and I think should be, a part of everyone's economic plan to leaving a financial legacy for their family, their children's children, and so on.
Brother Sankova, tell me about how you guys came together. How did you become part of WINKLER Investment Group? Tell me your story with regards to how it relates to what Brother Minister just shared with us.
Sure. Well, Minister Sar and I had already been doing some things in the community already. And the real estate piece, the economic empowerment piece, was one of the things in the whole in terms of what I linked Star when I was in college, and at that time he had, you know, been having successes in business, especially area.
Now we're running into a little bit of problem. Your phone is kind of in and out. Are you moving?
Say it again, Brother Mark.
Yeah, we ran into a little bit. You were kind of in and out just now. The last piece of what you were saying. Can you repeat that last piece of what you were saying again? Because it was kind of in and out.
Sure. I was saying that I was a college student in my final year whenever I met Minister Star, and he had already had invested in real estate and business, and so we met at a study group and you know, from then.
Now I'm having a very, very difficult time hearing you. Are you moving? Can you maybe get to a good spot?
I'm thinking. Brother Sankova, is your phone on speaker?
Actually, it's not on speaker.
And you're not listening to the radio?
No, I'm just speaking on my phone.
Okay. If you can get back to that good spot that you were in when we were talking earlier, that was the ideal spot because the signal was perfect. But I want to kind of get back to what you were saying because the last piece kind of checked out on us twice. You said that you met the brother minister when you were in college, the last year of college, and after you kind of said that piece is when you kind of went out bad on us. If you could pick up there with your story. Brother Sankova, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me now?
That's better. That's much better. Wherever you are, stay there.
Okay.
Wherever you are, stay there.
Okay.
The last piece that we heard very clearly from you, you mentioned that you met Minister Asar when you were in your final year in college and you were doing some community stuff together. If you can pick up there with your story.
Sure. So I was in college, and I was a senior. It was my final year in college, and I went to Bowie State. And so I met Minister All-Star at a study group session, a study group for Black empowerment. And we would meet periodically off campus. And he had told me that, he had some successes in business and in real estate. And so we exchanged information, and he actually assisted me with some business endeavors and trying to get some things off the ground myself. So from that point, we just continued to stay in contact and communicate. And pretty much, he showed me some things by way of real estate. And in 2010, I was able to have some successes myself under his tutelage and under him showing me some things. And from that point, we just continued on. And so, like I said before, the real estate, that's in economic empowerment. That's one thing that have been doing a number of things in the community as well. So, as I said, the real one of the many things continue to just do to empower our people.
Brother, Mr. Oswald, I got a question for you with regards to the real estate and the investing. Again, going back to the focus being on us as black folks in the community. Tell us a little bit about what steps that the average person, a layman, can take with regards to real estate investing in the very early stages of maybe trying to change their financial situations. Minister? Brother Sankofa?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, did we lose the minister?
I'm not sure, actually.
I think we may.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, yeah.
There you go. I got you better now.
Okay.
Were you able?
I heard the question.
You heard the question. Okay, go for it.
And I was answering it. Okay, I'm going to take my phone off my earphone because I can hear myself back. Okay.
Okay.
So it depends on what someone's financial situation is. It depends on what someone's credit situation is, and if neither one of those situations are the best, it doesn't matter. But however, one of the greatest ways, if you have good credit, bad credit, money or no money, to get started in real estate investing, is a technique or a skill set that you can gain called wholesaling. And that's wholesaling real estate. And that's one of the techniques that we teach people how to do at WINKLER Investor Group. So no matter how much money you have, no matter, what your credit is, you can make anywhere between $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 on a deal. So even if you only make $5,000 per deal, you could do that 5 times a month. That'll be $25,000. And that's someone who's just getting into real estate. Someone who's really ready to get in there and get it done. My first year in real estate and investing in real estate without cash, credit, loans, any of that type of thing, I already had other businesses going. I made over 6 figures just through using this technique, which we call wholesaling real estate.
Wholesaling real estate. Now, is that something that you can maybe break down in a brief kind of way, or is that more in-depth conversation that we would need to have with regards to that?
Well, I can break down wholesaling real estate for you.
Yeah, just I guess the short version on what exactly that is. If someone hears that phrase, like me, I've never heard that phrase. So if I'm hearing that phrase for the very first time, what exactly does that mean?
So wholesaling real estate is I say the most, if not all, investors should get involved with, because it teaches you a lot of skill sets as it pertains to real estate. So again, what is wholesaling real estate? Wholesaling real estate is the art of locating properties, putting those properties under contract, quickly finding a buyer for those properties, and then assigning your right to your contract with your seller to an end buyer. And normally, these buyers are other wholesalers, rehabbers, landlords, etc. And what this fee is, it's called an assignment fee in most cases. There's other ways you can do it, but it's an assignment fee. So if I get a property on the contract for, let's say, $100,000, it's worth $200,000. I sell it to somebody else for $125,000. I get to keep that $125,000, that $25,000 out of the sale.
Right. That would be, I guess, kind of like your profit piece.
Yes.
Okay. Brother Sankova, I know when we were talking before, You were mentioning to me about an event that you guys have coming up this Saturday, the 8th, in Baltimore. Why don't you tell the Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J listeners what that event is, what's going on there, and how can they be a part of it?
Sure. Well, there's actually two events, and I'll briefly speak about both events. The first event that we have coming up is going to be Saturday, August 8th, the second Saturday this month, and it's coming up. It's going to be a workshop located at 1356 West North Avenue, and that's Baltimore, Maryland. And that's going to be 21217. And it's going to be from 11 o'clock to 3 p.m. So, that's, investing in real estate. Investing in real estate, as Minister said, without qualifying loans, cash, credit, even a job. So you want to definitely make sure that you register for that. You can be able to register by going to our website, which is www.winkler.com, or you can just hop on Facebook. And our page is Facebook.com/Winkler Investment Group. So make sure that as soon as possible, are definitely taken up. So then the next event we have going to our first time home buyer workshop. That's Saturday, August 5th. And that's going to be taking place from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. And it's going to be taking at 71 Liberty Road, 8200 in Glen Oak, Maryland, 1207. So I know from the Marcus that, you're based in Richmond, and there are people tuning in listening all the country. We're based in Baltimore. And so come on and test out and get some items. Both events are free, and so you definitely don't want to miss out. Our contact information is 443-333-2970 or 410-406-7478. And our email is winklerinvestorgroup@gmail.com. No space, no gap. Right? So make sure you check out those tips.
You're still breaking up just a little bit for us. I was able to kind of get through most of that information, but you're still breaking up a little bit. I don't know if I can share that with you. But I'm gonna move on a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things that we talked about earlier, Brother Sankofa, as well as Minister Dennis Osmar. We're talking about the Winkler Investment Group out of Baltimore, Maryland here. And I want to make sure that everybody that's listening to us definitely check these brothers out, actually, and also check out the website, WINKLERInvestmentGroup.com, WINKLERInvestmentGroup.com. Check out the website and be a part of the events that Brother Sankofa just shared with us. I want to talk about Conscious Black Business Network, Brother Sankofa. Tell me, when you hear that phrase, what are you thinking about? What's on your mind when you hear that? Brother Sankofa?
Yes, Brother Marcus.
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you. We're
okay.
We're in and out a little bit, but we're gonna power through it, brother. We're gonna power through it. Conscious Black Business Network. Conscious Black Business Network. What's your thoughts when you hear that phrase?
The Conscious Black Business Network is a community, and it is very essential that we establish a culture of social solidarity. So before we get into the economic piece and supporting each other and ownership and controlling our resources and properties and real estate, we have to be able to facilitate healthy relationships. That means we have to be able to get along. That means we have to be able to squash and squander those petty differences that hinder us from being able to empower ourselves and hinder us from being able to move forward as a collective. So this Conscious Black Business Network, it's all about us being progressive as entrepreneurs, as Black professionals and business owners, and for those who want to support Black. And so, it's all about us networking. It's all about us empowering ourselves economically. And we also have a radio show, which takes place on Thursdays from 9 to 11. and you could tune in and just, see what we have, what we're talking about. We're talking about different issues that affect us, especially by way of economics. And, we talk about a lot of progressive things. So it's all about networking, elevating, and empowerment, especially by way of economics.
Tell me about the show. The show is on Thursday. Obviously, you guys are on with us, Legacy Internet Radio. We're always on, but I certainly would encourage, those folks that would be interested in hearing you guys to, and most radio stations ain't going to do this, but turn us off for a little while and turn these brothers on because you can empower yourself. Tell us how they can find that show if they want to be empowered, if they want to understand the Conscious Black Business Network and hear the show that's going to talk more about it. How can they find it?
Sure thing. Well, first thing I would say is people can hop on Facebook and join our group, Conscious Black Business Network. All right? Yeah, that's Conscious Black Business Network. That's our Facebook group. You could also go to www.blogtalkradio.com/Conscious Black Business Network. And you can, get all of our archived shows. And then you could also, tune in, live, at the time when we're on and just hear what we're talking about. And then also you can reach out to us directly, with the contact numbers that I gave out before, to also, be a part of the email list and to stay connected. And I'll give the numbers one more time, 443-333-2970 or 410-406-7478.
You said the Facebook page was Conscious Black Business Network?
Conscious Black Business Network.
Okay. Looking forward, and I'll make sure I get that added here for myself, and I would encourage any of the listeners to, have Steppin with Marcus J on Legacy Internet Radio to do the same. Minister, also, I got a question for you if you're still with us. I want to talk to you directly about the African-centered mentality. The fact that we are going to, with the WINKLER Investment Group, we're looking to empower our own. How are we directly looking to, aside from the events that you have this weekend and things of that sort, because you guys mentioned that you met in the community, how does the African-centered mentality merge with this real estate investing that we're doing?
Okay, that's an awesome question. And you said, how does the African-centeredness merge with the real estate investment?
Yes, sir.
And all right, so the consciousness or the Afrocentricity is a necessity for us as Black people. At least this is I'm going to say it's a necessity. I'm speaking as an absolute. I don't speak in a lot of absolute terms. But I know that for sure, for people to come together, they must put themselves in the center. And, we have to regain our consciousness because we've been utilizing someone else's consciousness for too long. So, with that being said, we have to rediscover who we are. And with Afrocentricity, it teaches you how we behave and how Black people, African people, after descent, behave and how they should behave for the success of the group, because culture is that which gives the people his best chance for survival. So Afrocentricity or African-centeredness or, group economics or group solidarity is necessary for anything that we're going to do successfully.
When I'm thinking about the mentality, I think a lot about when I see our brothers and I see our sisters today. A lot of times people are not interested in one Afrocentric thought, one, and two, anything that, for lack of a better term, is considered deep or work or hard. So my question, and either of you, because I want you both to respond. So Brother Minister, I'd like you to respond first, and Brother Sankova, I want you to follow him. when you see that a lot of our brothers and sisters are more concerned with things like the Meek Mill and Drake beef and things of that ilk, as opposed to looking to have Afrocentric thought and building their real estate and their futures, they're more concerned with other things. And I shouldn't say that they all, because it's not they all. But when I look at my Facebook timeline, it's really, really filled up with those things. And there's not a lot of intellectual thought that I see going on. If I put something out on my wall that is, shall we say, pop culture riddled, I can get a whole bunch of likes and people want to comment and all that kind of stuff. But if I say, we need to figure out a way to come together and build together, I may not get as much attention. So how do you combat that? And I'm asking as a listener, I'm asking as a brother that wants to build with y'all, I'm asking as a frustrated brother, because I'm always on my soapbox about this stuff. Now, I know we kind of took a little bit of a turn with that question, but I really want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. So, Minister, also I want you to answer first, and Brother Sankofa, follow him.
And, okay, you kind of were going out a little. So, was the question Afrocentricity?
Basically, basically what I'm asking you is your opinion on how we get people back into intellectual Afrocentric thought and away from what I like to call the minutia of pop culture, because there are more people that I've seen in my Facebook wall, as well as in conversations that I've had with people, that are more concerned in the last week about what's going on with Meek Mill and Drake than they are what's going on in other areas. And so what I'm asking you is how we try to combat that. What's your thoughts on how we combat that?
I think a lot of people have been doing it. And, it's a lot of that going on. And I think the way we combat that is by making Afrocentricity or African thought, or, whatever it is that we want to call it, that's right, or what black people need to uplift themselves or ourselves, we have to make that more attractive. And I've seen that happen. And I'm seeing it happen, right now. Because, I think Afrocentricity or African-centered thought or whatever it is has had a connotation of, or a cloud over it. You have to be poor, broke, a poor righteous teacher, and all that type of thing. However, the way that I've seen it become more attractive is when we show our people that African-centered thought can produce results. That African-centered thought, you can truly be yourself still. You can truly like hip-hop. You can truly talk about what real hip-hop is. There's a lot of brothers out there, brothers and sisters out there that are raising this bar, especially this new generation, this hip-hop generation, that are becoming conscious or awakening to an African-centered paradigm. So I think the way we do this is not to throw away that which is us or what has come from us, but embrace that, but make it a more positive message. In fact, Brother Sankofa Nick is a conscious or African-centered hip-hop artist. And, it's a lot going on. So basically, I think we have to bring the sexy back to African consciousness, and we're doing that in many ways.
Brother Sankofa, you didn't tell me you was an artist, brother.
Well, we have a lot to build on, Brother Marcus.
Yes,
You're still only the beginning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do. I look forward to it. Jump in here, man. Same question for you. What's your thoughts on the topic that we just brought up in the comments that Minister Alsar just laid out for us?
Sure. Well, I agree wholeheartedly with what it is that Minister Alsar said. When you look at the social climate of what's going on in today's society, I mean, when you look at our youth and our brothers and sisters beat down in the street, you look and see, I was reading an article the other day, back in Baltimore, they spoke about 45 homicides and Sandra Bland and many, many different examples that could be mentioned. We're at a time where a lot of people are having conversations. Things are being brought to the forefront more. And so that could be something that you can use to be able to get people's attention. A lot of people are getting upset with what's going on. And so a lot of times people want answers. They want to be able to talk about these things. And so that right there could be a segue into being able to help people understand that these things that happen, it's not just by happenstance or it's not just a coincidence. These things are systemic things that have been in place for a reason. And so once that real conversation starts, then you can continue. And one of the things that we always speak about is you have to be a part of a collective. You have to be a part of an organization that can help facilitate your growth and development. And it's all about, prioritizing, because, a lot of times we'd rather go to the Ravens game or the baseball game or whatever than really do what it is that we may need to do to better our situation. We might complain about that job and having to deal with that boss and those coworkers that get on your nerves. But what are you doing? What steps are you taking to try to get yourself out of that situation? So a lot of times, you have to show the example, and that is something that Minnesota All-Star does. I aim to do this day in, day out, and you have to live by it, and you have to serve as a model and example. So whenever you're talking with people about different things and speaking to different things that are going on, and then you can have an alternative to show them. You can have something to show them, and then you can bring them in, and then you can bring them in into a collective with brothers and sisters that are of a like mind, that where they have healthy relationships, and they're showing what this African way is supposed to be like. Because one of the things that is real prevalent in our society is that anything that deals with Africa or an African concept, oftentimes it has a negative connotation. So, one of the things that we're about, there's also an organization that we also are a part of called the Temple of New African Thought. We're re-Africanizing ourselves, redefining who we are, and so that way we could be more attractive to our people, and that way we could be the best Africans that we can be.
I'm loving it, first of all, and let me just say that I love the conversation that we're having, that the building that we're doing, and I definitely want to continue it. I need to take a break, fellas, and so if you would hold the line for me, I'm going to take a break, and then on the other side, what I want to do is I want to get into some current affairs. There's a couple of things that I want to get you guys' opinion on that's in the news these days, and I want to talk to you guys about that. And then, of course, I want you to tell us again about the WINKLER Investment Group, because I want folks to be very, very clear on what it is that you do and who it is that you are. And I also want to make sure that the folks know about the event that we have on Saturday, which we talked about before, but we're going to talk about again. So we're going to take a break. It's going to be about 4 minutes. So hang in there, listeners, hang in there. Guests, we'll take that break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Ain't no Steppin with Marcus J. Live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. I've got Brother Sankofa and Minister Asar. Ain't no Steppin with Marcus J. Be back in a few minutes.